Let's move on to Adelaide United 1, Macarthur FC 2. Now, we thought we had the craziness of the derby on Saturday night. A little bit, 24 hours earlier, we had this game in Adelaide. Well, it was a brutal goodbye for Nestory Irankunda. We saw that they were celebrating their 20th anniversary as a club as well. A great tifo unfurled before the game in celebration of pretty much everything good about Adelaide United, really. Nesta goes in 30 minutes in this game, scores an absolute worldie of a goal. I jumped off my couch watching this live. I could not believe the way the ball moved from that angle when he's running at that position on the field. It goes beyond reason how he got that in, but he did. Gave a great knee slide in the celebration as well. Then later in the game, he gets whacked in the throat, which does earn the red card for Nicolau. And then, they're up 1-0 as late as the 84th minute with a man advantage, and they go down to 2-1. And then he gets the penalty in the 98th minute and can't score. Just absolutely brutal for Nesta in this game.
Yeah, just, I don't know, complacency caused Adelaide to lose it there in the end because they were just cruising. They were in cruise control for as you said, up to 84 minutes or maybe earlier than that as they, MacArthur did have that chances later in the second half. But yeah, I don't know where it went wrong. It had all the recipes to be such a nice send-off, a nice, send-off to one of their bright sparks in the league and an awesome opportunity for him to even get that equaliser at the end. It would have been great. But yeah, unfortunately, just puts it low and hard right down to the keeper, and it's an easy save in the end. Like, you need to kind of pick a spot and put it there, and it needs to be unsavable, or you need to try and beat the keeper. And he didn't do either with the pen at the end there, which is unfortunate for him, and you saw it in the emotion on his face. But yeah, that goal that he did score was, I think that's worth a lot. And maybe, down the road next year when we're seeing him at highlights of him elsewhere, it's that's what we're going to remember. I think the 3 points will hurt. Dropping the 3 points will hurt now. But yeah, highlights like that goal will be remembered for a long time. So yeah, I don't know either how that went in. It's just such an impossible angle, and how he strikes the ball is week on week just baffles the mind how he hits it. And see, even worldwide, like it's going crazy on Twitter and doing numbers. People saying they've never seen a kid hit a ball like this before. So I'm super excited for the future for him, and to see where he goes.
And Christian,
where he goes.
And Christian, this game will still be very raw for Reds fans, but I think upon reflection, it's a perfect encapsulation of Irankunda's time in the A-League. He's clearly just this generational talent with a power and a ferocity that's we've never seen before, really, but also still so raw, still so emotional, feels as if he has the weight of the world on his shoulders. But there's so many reasons to be excited about him, right? And we have this almost unwavering belief that the best of him is yet to come. It's just, you pack his whole time into the A-League into 90 minutes, and this is what you get. This strike from so far out on the ridiculous angle that has no right to end up in the back of the net somehow just felt inevitable. Like, he turns up on the pitch, he just knew he was going to score that day, and he did it the hard way, not the easy way. It's exactly what he's done his whole career.
Yeah, spot on. For the goal he scored, he just never does it easy, does he? He just always finds the hard route to score a goal. He scores these absolute worldies. And when he scored, I thought instantly, like, that's just a knuckleball. Like, how do you even comprehend, like,
on the run,
getting the contact on the run and to strike the ball the way he did for such a young age? Yeah, that's just pure talent right there. You can't teach those kind of things. That's just pure instinct. And that's just, credit to him. And then obviously for the penalty, it just sums up the roller coaster of emotions that, Irankunda's been experiencing, not only this season, but basically just his whole junior football career, you could probably say. Obviously with the penalty, he was distraught after the game. You could see he was crying. Teammates, the opposition went to console him. That just shows how much it means to him. And, you've got to commend him on that for an 18-year-old, for that, his last home game until he moves off to Bayern. Obviously he wanted, the narrative to end, a bit more of a fairy tale than it did, but that just shows that the kid cares and he's got a bright future ahead. So it was highs and lows, but with that goal especially, you can take that and say, this kid's going to be special.
Absolutely. And you have to imagine that giving him the penalty was somewhat of an emotional decision. I know Zach Clough was off the field. He's usually their number one taker. Stephen Walk missed one earlier in the year. So I'm not sure where he would actually be in the pecking order, but I imagine it probably wasn't number one on the field, but the moment kind of just called for it.
Yeah.
But another question I have, we saw a close-up of his boots with his undone laces. Oh, I don't know if you guys have noticed, is this something that he's been doing consistently? And what's the advantage of it, Will? Do you have any idea?
No, maybe it does have a play a part in how he hits it. But no, I think I have noticed it before, or maybe it was even just after a game I've noticed it. And yeah, no, so it seems to be a consistent thing. I don't know.
Interesting. Maybe that's how he hits the ball. Maybe that's the secret. You have kids all over the country running around with untied football boots now.
Tripping over their shoelaces, that's great.
Christian, there was another team in this game. Obviously, MacArthur, incredible comeback on their part. The red card set them back to 10 men so late in the piece as well, and they scored 2 goals to win them. The first for me is all down to Jermaine. The piece of brilliance to be able to chest the ball down to the incoming PL on his second A-League game. It's so creative, and it reminds me actually of Ola Toivonen, who we've talked about recently for victory. There's a famous goal where the ball comes in and, everyone's expecting him to volley, but he just has the one touch that sets up the teammates so perfectly, and it increases the team's chances of scoring a goal. I thought that touch was brilliant. And then obviously Adelaide will be disappointed with the defending for particularly the second goal as well, but a brilliant turnaround from MacArthur that is pivotally important for their season as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what we also have to mention is that no Davila in this game through suspension. So they were already, climbing an uphill battle, coming into this game. A lot of people expected, the Irankunda fairy tale to have a great ending. Everyone expected Adelaide to maybe pinch the 3 points at home, Adelaide fighting for finals. But, once MacArthur went down to 10 men, they opted for a sort of 3-4-2 formation, which I thought was a wise move from Stajovski in hindsight, because it allowed sort of the reverted wing backs in and Momba and Scott, who were able to provide the necessary support for the front two, but they also made it extremely difficult when they shut the space essentially for Adelaide to deny someone like Irankunda the chance to exploit those spaces, when cutting in with that man disadvantage for MacArthur. So yeah, I thought it was a very courageous performance from MacArthur, and to their credit, at times I've been a bit critical of them this season for not arguing they should be showing this potential week in, week out, which has been sort of frustrating. But like I said, without Davila, that was, one heck of a win. And from here now, they've got to really kick on.
So just to illustrate how important those 3 points were, and how big that comeback was, it's important that they got the points in this game because they play Sydney, but again, without Davila, he has a 2-match suspension. And then it's Wellington away on the final game of the season, which we talked about before. So if they're pushing for the premiership, then those 2 games are incredibly difficult. And they are on the balance of the 6. But now with this win, there are still points to Melbourne City in 7th. But because City play the Wanderers next week, who are in 6th, there's no way that both of those teams can overtake the Bulls. So they are now locked in. MacArthur will play finals football. And, going into the last 2 games against Sydney and Wellington, if they needed more points in that game, they would have been really nervous because that was no certainty at all. And then on the Adelaide side of things, it is still possible, but they probably have to win every single game if they didn't have to already. And this does feel like it's the sucker punch that has ended their season.
Yeah, this was massive. The without Davila in this one, it just maybe they didn't look at it as a possibility of wrapping it up here. They thought they'd have work to do and have to go to Sydney or Phoenix, who are both fighting for their own reasons. Especially Phoenix, I don't think they would have had a chance of winning that one. So yeah, that's huge, a huge result. Lock it up now is incredible, especially with the red card and going down first. So yeah, awesome for them to kind of see them lock in finals. They have been somewhat flying under the radar a bit this season, I think. Just not always at the focus center of attention, but no, there's been some awesome football, and it's good to see them back in finals. And yeah, for Adelaide, even though it could be mathematically possible, as you said, this type of loss just absolutely takes it out of you, and mentally, I don't think they will be there to be able to win these next 3. So it does look like it's maybe season over for them.